everyone, I am live, and please let me know if you can hear me or if you can see me. And Shvo and I, we are having a little bit technical issue, and he couldn't use the Be Live link, and so I'm just using my Facebook Live natively to do this live interview. What I learned from running my Facebook show is that you always need to have a backup plan. So anyway, let me know who is here. And thank you so much. Oh, awesome. Shvo is here. And I hope people are going to join us, Shvo, because I shared the link which is connected to my Be Live. But anyway, I feel bad. And if you don't mind sharing this on your page, Shvo, or like maybe even sharing on Twitter, because the link I scheduled was not correct. And oh, Jerry's here. Hey, Jerry. And I'm just going to get started. We were having a little bit technical issue with Be Live. And thank you so much for your patience and for joining us live. My name is I just came back from New York City. I'm the host of this weekly Facebook Live show called Classroom Without Walls, using technology to reimagine education. I created this show because I believe our society has changed a lot. Social media and technology play a huge role in our changing society. As an educator, I really want to tap into this digital revolution to create a virtual space where we can both be teachers and students at the same time. If you are new to the show, thank you so much for joining us. If you are a returning attendee, hey Jerry, and you know how much I appreciate you and I support you. And if you are watching this on replay, thank you so much, future people. And I really hope people can discover us, because I know that several people told me that they will be here. I hope this technical issue is not going to affect people join us. That would be very sad, because Shvo is truly amazing. I'm so excited to have Shvo join us live as my guest of honor. Let me see. On camera, Shvo, and you should receive an invitation from me, and please just click on that and join me live. As Shvo is trying to get ready, let me just introduce him. Shvo is going to discuss the importance and relevance of Twitter in today's digital landscape. My phone is also acting out. And Shvo is the founder of and the CEO of Volano. I hope I said it correctly. Volano Media. Volano Media is a marketing agency that helps small businesses to build a loyal audience through social media. Shvo is also a blogger, and he has his own podcast called What's the Word? And I highly recommend that you check his podcast, and he also does his podcast through live streaming. So definitely check him out. Hey, Antonios, thank you so much for joining us. We are just having a little bit technical issue right now, and I hope I can still do this with you guys today. And Shvo, let me try to invite you again. And it seems like you didn't accept the invitation. Let me know if you received my invitation. Ooh!
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good. Thank you so much. I was like, whoa! Every time when I had some technical issues, it's just like so stressful. And I hope people can discover us, because I share the Be Live link for people to join us. And but anyway, we are just going to get this started. If you guys don't mind, give this a share, and or like just share on Twitter, because I shared the wrong link. And so hopefully more people can discover us and can come join us. I'm just going to get started with the questions here, Shival. So Twitter, do you want to add anything, by the way, to my very brief introduction?
The only thing to say is that I live here in Houston, and I'm actually at the WeWork here in downtown Houston, where I just had to be here to do this show, and another thing I'm a my past life I was a sports writer, freelance sports writer, and I founded my company like 6 years ago.
Oh,
It was like as a blog basically to cover sports at my alma mater, and then I recently transitioned it like 2 years ago into a social media agency, which now is a marketing agency that does stuff with social media.
yeah, this sounds great. Yeah. Awesome. I'm so excited to have today's conversation and to discuss with you. You are such a dear friend and amazing social media marketer. And hi, Natasha. Thank you so much for joining us. And I couldn't use Be Live today, so I won't be able to share some of your comments. And please feel free to chat with each other and bring in any questions. I will make sure to ask your questions. So let's just get started with the questions that I have. Hey, Deborah, and also please let me know where you are joining us from, everyone. I love that part so much. So Twitter came out in March 2006, 12 years ago. This is hard to believe. So after 12 years, do you think Twitter is still relevant and important, and how so?
Has always been relevant, even because of the fact that basically because of the fact that many people are using it for news to find out about the news, what's going on in the world. And another important thing too is that journalists are using Twitter now to search for breaking news.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, they have to be on there in order to see what's going on. Like for example, I really don't like to talk about tragedy in this sense, but I have to talk about this one because, like for many guys that are not here in the United States,
Mm.
the American football, uh, a famous player for the San Francisco 49ers, he passed away like a couple days ago, and his wife announced it on his Twitter account,
Wow.
and that was the breaking news there, and that's where all the journalists found, the sports reporters found out about it. So it's like it becomes a place where people can find out what's going on in the world, and people announce like their what's like if they're doing product launches or building a trust, they can basically be on Twitter.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's yeah. So how was like she announced that on Twitter? How was the engagement? Was like people like engaging and then
it spread like wildfire. Like all the major media basically reported on it, announced it on their channels after when she posted it, and basically that's how the digital landscape has changed now.
mm-hmm.
On the media has to be on there now to keep track of what's going on. Journalists have to keep track of breaking news, because if they're not on there, they're gonna miss out on what's going on in the world. Like if it's like politics or sports or business, they have to be on there to keep track of what's going on in the digital landscape.
Yeah, that is so true. Actually, many of my the like the book chapter invitations or things that came out to me was because I was being a good listener on Twitter. I was watching and monitoring different hashtags on TweetDeck. So being a good listener, and that's how I like as soon as like for example, I was my story was featured in Mark Schaefer's The Top of Twitter's book, and this is how this happened because I saw him send out a tweet because I was monitoring his account on TweetDeck, and I saw him send out a tweet and asking, he was actually asking for stories, people to contribute stories to his book. And I was like, hey, yes, I had a story. And so I saw his tweet and contacted him right away, and he tweeted me his email, and that's then the rest is history. So everyone in the live audience can do the same thing. Yeah, that's so. Do you see like Twitter over time is losing a little bit of popularity or has become more popular? So what do you see the pattern is for Twitter as well?
To be honest, I think it just depends basically because it depends on if you know what's your preference basically for, in why you're using social media and Twitter. Like if you're using Twitter just to promote your stuff yourself or promote your business, then it's not going to work for you. But if you're using Twitter to build relationships, especially with like your customers or your friends, then it's gonna work for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think really, it's popular among those who are using Twitter the right way. Like for example, like I could say for example, Cinnabon,
Mm-hmm.
they basically are great at social listening. And here's what's really funny about this. I made a reporter for a major sports organization basically tweeted out, she basically tweeted out and was shocked that Cinnabon responded to her.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, basically you would expect that from, like if someone sees a celebrity, they would go all crazy and be happy and all that. But she basically was shocked and acted like that. And I was like, I basically asked her, why, why were you shocked by that? And she basically said because on Twitter I asked her that, and she said because it was like, it because she never expected it. So it's one of those things where you have to be good at social listening, and you have to actually respond. And not many businesses or anyone respond to tweets. I mean, they just post a tweet and then they leave, and without staying around to listen. And I think that's where they're missing out
Yeah.
on on Twitter,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah. Those are so many like great points. And before I comment on the points you mentioned, I want to give a quick shout out. We have a bunch of people finally discovering us and joining us because of the technical issue. Hey, Jason, thank you so much. And Jim is here and Maria is here. And thank you so much, guys, for joining us from all over the globe. You guys are truly amazing. Yes, Cinnabon, they are just amazing. And I think other than like airline companies and a few brands that I can name, most of the brands that I tweeted on Twitter, they never get back to me. Like just recently, I'm a huge fan of an organization called Mind Valley. They are very innovative in the education space. I tweeted them, gave them shout out at least like 100 times. I never gained any thank you or engagement back. And I
Oh
basically
wow.
stopped talking to them, and my love for them has tremendously decreased. And I think that really shows what you were talking about earlier. I think Jason was making a comment earlier regarding Cinnabon's team does a wonderful job responding to average people. Exactly. When we are the average people and we see brands interacting with us, this is like truly amazing. Yes. Awesome. Keep the comments coming, and everyone, because I'm not using Be Live today, so I couldn't show you comments, but I am listening. I'm keeping an eye on everyone's comments. Yeah. So what do you think are some hidden or underutilized features on Twitter, Shival, that brands or individuals have not yet taken advantage of?
Well, the analytics on Twitter, they don't use the analytics to see who is listening, who's their demographics, and their income range, and basically their interests. Because most of the time, when you see like the your audience interest, that gives you an idea of what type of posts they want to see. And you can also see like, and plus your audience, can change over time too
Mm-hmm.
when you're on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing is Twitter lists too.
Mm.
Like, and I could say this as an example for journalists, for like entrepreneurs, because let's say if they want to to interact with journalists, basically, they can make a Twitter list of the journalists who are on there,
Mm.
and then they can interact and engage with them, because most of the time the journalists they basically doing their work and they basically tweet out their stuff to their audience. And so if you can at least interact with them or share their stuff which is relevant to you and relevant to to your audience, then they'll notice and they'll appreciate it. And I think that's the thing too. And another thing I could say too for that is, you actually can see the personalities for the journalists too. Like if it's like, for example, like if it's a sporting event, you never expect to see analysts from professional journalists on some sporting events that is real cool that's happening, and it's really fun to see. And one journalist here in Houston, he basically gives some great analyst analysis on on a game which was the Houston Rockets was in the playoffs, and he was giving some great analysis on what was going on. And I was thinking to myself, why aren't you like a sports analyst if you're because you've been giving some great analysts to us, and it was just really cool to see. So it's just really cool. And I will give a shout out to one journalist here in Houston. Her name is Lindsey Henry, and she is really great at Twitter. She basically interacts with the audience. She shares her behind the scenes, and and of course too, she even asks her questions. Like what's going on,
Mm.
what they want to see, and it's just really cool. So it's, I mean, it's just those things. And for those of you guys, follow her on Twitter at Lindsay Fox 26. You guys gonna see her work there as well, and also and you could say kind of her shenanigans too.
Yeah, those are some really, really amazing tips. I love also want to hear from everyone join us live. How often do you look at your own Twitter analytics? I have to say, and a few years ago, I was really bad. I rarely check out my Twitter analytics, but now I check them regularly. How often do you check yours, Shival, like Twitter analytics?
I try to check it like once a week, because it gives me an idea of what's working and what's not. But in reality, I really don't. I try not to pay too much attention to it. I only care about it, interacting with the people on there, and the people who have some great tweets
Mm-hmm.
as well, and and of course too, just seeing what's going on, like and of course the Houston Texans cheerleaders, they're really good at Twitter too. They basically interact with their audience on there a lot, and it's like like when you look at the stream, you're gonna see like tweets and like the behind the scenes,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
them
yeah,
interacting with
yeah,
the audience
yeah,
going
yeah,
through the stream.
yeah.
That just shows how good they are.
Yeah, that's like just totally, yeah. So I also love the idea that you shared of creating a Twitter list. I think many of you guys join us live are small business owners. I couldn't tell you how important this is to create a Twitter list. And I actually recently just created a private Twitter list of people who are kind of fans of my show, express an interest in my show. So that's how I engage with them and chat with them. Hey, how are you guys doing? And to position myself as a human who cares about them, because I do care about them, not because they are interested in my show, but those are just like special people. It's so much easier to stay in contact with people that way through a list than through the news feed. And that's a great. And also, I love how you mentioned of like connecting with journalists. So for those of us who haven't utilized this feature yet, so how do you discover the journalists within the local area or maybe even nationally? Like how did you discover them?
Well, I guess for I guess in my case, most of them, most of them actually followed me first on Twitter, which I was shocked, because I didn't expect it at all. and from there I ended up discovering more, most of the other journalists here, in Houston, and there, I mean, it's like you get, it's really cool, but I would say, like you could look at the geographic, like you could type in Google and see what type, who's the top journalist in your area. Also know the niche, like know what they're doing, their storylines, basically.
Yeah,
Do your research on them. Don't just like post. Don't just like think that you can just send like a post or like an email to any type of journalist because they see that as spam. You have to
absolutely.
build that trust first on there, and I think really that's where Twitter comes best because you can interact with them and build trust, and they get to know you very well. And if you share their articles, they'll realize that hey, this person is really cool, and they're not asking for anything. I think I might want to get to know them,
Yeah,
and then once they see more of you, then they'll possibly, like if you want, whenever the right time comes along, you could like talk to them about what you're doing, and they might, because they have to because they have to pitch their story to the producers first
absolutely.
before they get to go ahead. So
Absolutely.
that's where you have to understand, how to do your research and how to, know where to pitch to them
Yeah,
too.
yeah, those are really great points. I truly think I think over the past several years, when we started on social, we tend to use social media as a way to share our content. I think those days are just like bye those days. I think as you mentioned, social nowadays is mainly to build trust and making connections with people, getting to know people. And I love yesterday we had a chat with Winnie Sun on social ROI Twitter chat. I love every point she mentioned, and she was saying that I don't. For those of you who don't know Winnie Sun, she's a financial advisor. She has thousands of followers on her Twitter, extremely active community, and she told us that she rarely promotes her own content on Twitter. So to her, Twitter is a place to build relationships. So she doesn't even do social selling. But instead, because people love her content so much, and they started to check out her bio, click on her bio, and to promote for her. So I think that's really like the best result that maybe all of us wants to achieve, and really, like really helps like what everything you mentioned kind of reminds me of that. And also earlier we were talking about Twitter analytics. And also, I want to bring it to your attention, even though we are talking about Twitter right now, and Facebook page has amazing insights. And I look at my insights all the time because I run this show to see how people are engaging and responding to different topics. And on Instagram, so if you have a public page on Instagram, I just discovered this yesterday. Their insights are amazing. Oh my God, they give you so much data. Wow. So definitely check them out. And everyone in the audience, oh, Suzanne is here. Oh, thank you for joining us. And I don't
And
you,
Suzanne,
yeah, and people are having some really great comments. Hey, Jennifer, thank you for joining. Yes. And people are just having so many great comments in the comment section. Please keep them coming. Hey, Danica is here. Oh, wow. You guys are rocking. Thank you so much for being here, everyone. Please feel free to type your comments, your question in the comment section. I will make sure to ask. So one of my favorite features. Do you have a question, Shival, or you're just giving me a high five?
no, actually, I want you mentioned about Instagram. I want to mention this. An article just came out by Jen Herman talking about, well, like like how many were talking about like shadow banning. Well, Jennifer Herman just wrote an article of how Instagram confirmed, what she was saying about the analytics change, about why they have, what's been going on. Oh, like what's been going on basically, and with the algorithm change on there, right? Oh, it's on there, right? It's on her website right now. And Christina Torres Cruz, PR Christina, she shared it yesterday, and it is really great. You guys should check that out. And and it confirms everything. about the algorithm changes there. So you guys should check that article out.
Oh, definitely. And so if because I'm on my phone, I couldn't really type. If anyone find that article, do you mind just sharing that article? Because I think just not just on Twitter, analytics is something underutilized almost across social media channels. At least for me now, I have become a lot more intentional and look at my data and use my data to inform me and to make more strategic decisions in terms of selecting guests and topics. Hey, Suzanne, never mind. So glad you are here with us. So let's just keep going. This is amazing. Someone said that and I love my excitement. I couldn't saw the comment from home, but thank you so much because Shmo is truly amazing and you guys are also so amazing. I couldn't hide my excitement and this has been an amazing conversation so far. So one of my favorite features on Twitter is Twitter chats. And I frequently, and that's how I kind of started my social media journey. Only 3 years ago, I had about 300 followers on my Twitter, no community, and no digital footprint. And 3 years later, today, I had 8,000 plus followers on my Twitter, and I mainly grow my followers through Twitter chats. And you can do this, everyone, join us in the live audience. And Shvo, you are also an active participant in various social media related Twitter chats. I see you all the time. So can you please share with us your top reasons that you are such an advocate of doing Twitter chats and how has joining Twitter chats benefited your personal brand and career?
Well, basically, thank you. Well, basically, Twitter chats is like all Twitter chats is like a conversation around a hashtag, and it could be on any type of topics really. And basically, Twitter chats is a way to grow your community and also to get to meet new people too, from around the world. And the thing is about Twitter chats is, it's fast paced, but you get to share your expertise as well, and also, learn some new stuff as well from the experts.
Mm.
Experts in some ways, in a lot of ways. There's some great chats that are out there, and I want to mention, and of course too, Twitter chat.
Oh, I don't know what happened. I think it's loud. Schwa? This tend to happen when I have amazing chats going on all the time. Too much fire. So I hope Shvo can come back. I will make sure to invite him. And I saw a question from Suzanne, and she was asking me and like about analytics and how I changed my approach. And this, I don't use any tools yet, but I'm thinking about investing in one. But so far, I have only been using the built-in free analytics on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. And especially the one on Instagram, they give you like gender and on like your top performing post, and you can see the engagement. And even for my own Facebook live show, I can see engagement rate, and for replay how many people watch till the end. And all those really help me understand my audience better, and this is one piece of advice I want to give to people. Like, don't think too much. You really have to take action. Action creates clarity. Running my show and looking at my analytics helps me understand my audience, you guys, much better. The topics you are interested in on Instagram. I know what time, like I discovered the time based on looking at my analytics. When is my audience most likely to engage with me on my content? So I highly recommend you guys check it out. I was really bad at this, but now I run my kind of small emerging business, and I benefited so much from being a good listener and just looking at the free feedback that my audience give me. So I hope that helps. And I'm going to let me know, Suzanne, if you want me to elaborate more, and I will make sure to get back to you. And I am inviting to the chat. Hey, Elizabeth, thank you so much for joining
Hey
us.
guys,
This is
I
awesome.
don't know what just happened.
Too much fire.
Hey
Every
guys,
time when this happened, I was just like, too much fire. You are doing amazing, Shval. Yes. So we are just talking about
awesome.
the benefits of Twitter chats, and I wonder if you have
Yep.
any success stories in terms of how joining Twitter chat has benefited your career or personal brand or business?
Yeah, basic. And here's the thing: for me, Twitter chats are a way to, I love Twitter chats because I love Twitter, and so I can participate in Twitter chats and then in addition to Twitter because it's natural to me. But here's the caveat to that. Um, most people who host Twitter chats, they have blog recaps, and and if your tweet was great and it was featured on their blog recaps, then you can use that as a media, like as a press page per se. And so that's where you can build your client your media page as well. But here's one thing that I didn't expect. Winnie Sun hosts. I love Winnie Sun's chat, and I always love being on her chats a lot because she is one of the best. But here's the thing on that. Even though she never did recaps, I enjoyed it because she's very cool. Her personality is awesome, and the community is great. But I was shocked when she did she used some of the Twitter chats for her Forbes article, and of course the second time she did it, one of my tweets was featured on there, and so I got quoted on Forbes because of her chat. So that's the cherry on the cake there with Twitter chats. Even though you can participate in it and you enjoyed it, the cherry on the cake is if your article, your tweet was featured on a blog post, and it's really, really, really cool.
Oh, first of all, congratulations, Shval. I mean, featured in Forbes is on my bucket list. I don't know when this is going to happen, but this sounds so amazing. I'm so happy for you. Congratulations. And
It
that
will.
shows, yeah, everyone in the audience, you should check out Winnie Sun's chat. It's really amazing. And also, I love how you mentioned, when people include your tweet in a recap, you can use that as media mentions. And you shared this amazing tip with me a few years ago, and I started to do that. So what I did is that, we talked about Twitter list, and another feature I love is Twitter moments. So what I did is I created a Twitter moments of media mentions. Okay, and you can keep this moment as a draft or publish it. It doesn't matter. So every time when something good happens to me, I just put that tweet into that media mention moment, which is so much easier for me later to build my website. Because before, when I was looking at my website, I know people give me shout out, but I couldn't find those tweets. They were just so scattered. With this amazing tip that Shvo gave us, this makes everything so much easier and organized. So definitely give it a try. And so that's a great story. I love it. Yeah. Thank you, Shvo. And
You're
I'm
welcome.
just going to keep going here. If you guys have any question, I don't even know what time it is right now because I'm only on my phone. I couldn't see the time. Hey, Ro is here. Thank you for joining us. And also, anyone, if you are on your laptop, I really want to share that article from Shvo and from Winnie Sun on Forbes. If you don't mind and doing some research and find that article and enter the link in the comment section, that will be great because I want you guys to check out that article. And Shvo was mentioned, I think, in the first paragraph, if not like second, very top. That is amazing media exposure. It's not approaching the end of the article. I think it's at the top. So if anyone can find the link to that article and please share, that would be great. So recently, I listened to Brent Fenzel, one of his episodes, and on his podcast, he was talking about the importance of Twitter and why brands and individuals need to be on Twitter in his podcast, and he shared that Twitter seems to be losing its popularity and attraction to many brands in the industry. About Twitter, which is one of my favorite topics, and I'm bringing Shvo back.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
Third time is a
All right.
charm.
Okay, let me answer that question with the article with Brent. You know, I don't think I don't think Twitter is losing popularity. I think it's losing popularity among the lazy people who don't who only want to use Twitter as a broadcasting medium. because all it is just they just want to go out and promote themselves, and they don't want to interact with the audience. I think that's where they're losing out. And I think it just irritates me to hear all these so-called experts talking about how Twitter.
We lost him again. I think this is not good. And I saw Darren said that lots of good ideas, and thank you. Yes, we shared so many great tips, creating Twitter lists with journalists and Twitter moments, and looking at your analytics and participate in Twitter chats. And also, I think like you have to be selective. There can be so many Twitter chats, and I think I have been participating in Twitter chats for quite a few years, and now I really select and choose. And plus, for me, because of the time difference, it's very hard. But when I was in the US, I'm also careful because you could really waste lots of your time to join chats that are just like lots of self promotion, not in terms of building a community. That's not good. But like the chats we mentioned, like Madeline Sklar also ran some good chats, and Winnie Sun, as Shvo mentioned, that's an excellent example. And I will try to, and if not, we are just going to.
Okay, I'm back again.
Okay,
Sorry,
yeah,
I don't know what's going
no
on,
problem, Shvo.
but
Yeah, let's.
let me go. I'm sorry for interrupting, but what I was saying is that I just it just makes me sick to see like people talking about, oh, this platform is not working because you're not getting the lead, so let's try another different platform. And then hearing all these people saying like, oh, Twitter is not relevant, it's dead. It just really irritates me, you know. And then all of a sudden now, they see like for example, many said that LinkedIn was not relevant. Now you're hearing, oh, it's relevant now. Come on, all you got to do is just be social. You got to care about your audience. You have to care about serving value. You don't have don't just go in there try to get a one hit show basically.
Oh, those are
A
some
one
amazing
sales
points. Yeah. Oh,
one sales special about trying to one sales special and then afterwards leave. You have to be
yeah.
there. In fact, it's like you have to build trust. People now are more smarter than ever, and they can smell someone who is not being genuine and who doesn't care about them. So I think really
Exactly.
it's just irrelevant. It's just you have to know what works for you and then stick with it.
Oh, those are great points. I think you mentioned it's not just on Twitter. Social media, you have to be social. Regardless of you are on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram, if the only thing you do is self-promotion, you are not going to get much value out of it at all. It's not the problem of the platform, but how you use the platform is the root of the problem. I love that. Hey, Susanna is here. Oh my God, Darren, Susanna, thank you so much for joining us. This is an amazing episode. Make sure you check out the replay because Shua dropped so much value. Okay, we are just wrapping up here. I think time is about right. And Shua, what is next for you and how can we help you?
Well, my thing is just continuously, build my business towards profitability. But for me, I basically recently just started working, a couple months ago as second work while building my business because, I recently transitioned my business to a.
Did we lose him again? Oh, okay.
Okay, I recently transitioned my business to focus on travel industry, and so I'm working in the travel industry right now. Well, working in travel industry right now to learn it from the ground up. So I just want to continue to grow and continue to learn from many great people, and so and the thing is, I tried not to promote myself too much, even though I should, but I try not to because I don't want to come across as self promotional.
Yeah, exactly. And when you saw, I learned this from her yesterday. She said that if people love you, they love how you engage, they love your content, they will check you out. They will promote for you. I think the beauty when you do social right, and that is like a really nice byproduct you can get. Yes. And Natasha was just commenting on like how important it is to show that you care about your audience. And Natasha just wrote a really amazing blog on like building personal brand and engagement. And can you please share that link with us, Natasha? I love that article so much. And everyone, I think you should check it out. And Melissa, thank you so much for joining us. And Shwo, one parting piece of advice regarding Twitter or Twitter chats or analytics, everything we discussed so far, and where can we discover more about you?
Thank you. I guess just be social. Actually, also you should try out live video as well because now it's becoming the place where you need to be at now because like and Winnie's son shared this yesterday, I believe, that now like actually no, actually it was you that shared this yesterday. That says 81% of all internet activity will be video based by 2021, and so now it's like you're gonna have to be on video in order to be seen per se. So I guess just go out and try out video as well. You know, I'm an introvert, but I'm here doing my show like weekly every week on here. So
Uh-huh.
so that's that.
You
And
are
one more
the
thing.
most, yes, just go ahead.
Sorry for saying this. And one more thing too. You going back to building trust. There's a lady on here who's my Monique Cabell. She's actually my coach. You know, the example. She's an example of how she won over a client. I've seen her content every time on Instagram, and it was because of that I see that she's very good at her work. So
Mm.
so basically now she's my coach, and so I'm getting back into health and fitness now, and that's why I'm continuously, that's why I'm saying, just be social, build that trust, and you're gonna naturally win
Mm.
that client over.
Yes, yes. This is so true. I couldn't tell you guys how many times I purchased like products or services or especially books because I consume those people's content over time. I trusted them. I love their content. And I just want to purchase their content, want to learn from them. And even on my show, I have a small but very intimate audience. And it has happened quite a few times that people in my live audience has purchased products, services from guests who come to my show, even though it was their first time to meet my guest. And to me, that is amazing. Would you ever purchase anything from someone you just met? Probably not. I think because those people in the live audience that you guys trust me, and thank you. I truly appreciate that. And you started to transfer your trust on me to my live audience, to my live guests. That is just like social selling, but when you are not doing social selling, it is so amazing. And how can we discover more about you, Shivo? And by the way, the percentage is actually 82%, and video content is by Cisco. Cisco's annual visual network report, and check it out. Video, yes. So where can we learn more and discover more about you, Shiva?
Well, thanks, you guys. You guys can visit my business website, www.volanomedia.com. Volanomedia.com. That's VALLANO media.com, and you can see all the blog articles and also the podcast. And also, I've written two books like almost 4 years ago, and you could go to my about page and click on the links there, and you guys can check those books out as well. So that's where you guys can find me. And I've been on hiatus for about 3 weeks in a sense. It wasn't planned, but I'm gonna try to post a content this week, basically.
Awesome. Thank you so much for an amazing chat, Shval, on one of my favorite
Thank you.
topics, which is Twitter. I had a great time, and everyone in the audience, I think you guys also had a great time and learned a lot based on the comments I saw. And I'm sorry about the technical issues at the beginning, but it seems like everything worked out fine. Thank you so much, everyone, as always, for joining us live. I appreciate you guys so much. I hope to see you again next Wednesday, the same time and same location. Bye. Take
See you
care.
guys later. Thank you.
See you. Mwah! Bye, Shmo.
See you. I thank you guys for joining.
Oh, thank you. This is amazing. Everyone just like rock star in my life. Thank you guys so much. I cannot thank you enough. I can just thank you for 1 hour, but I'm just going to stop here because I say everything from the bottom of my heart. I truly thank you. Without you, the show is not going to be here. You know that, right? And the show is for you
Yeah.
to learn and to create this virtual community where we can learn from each other. And if you have any recommendations for me to improve, please message me. Thank you, guys. Mwah! Bye.